24/7. My name is Niharika Walia, and I am with you for the era of AFB. That means Accounting for Finance and Bankers. Today I'm going to take up the topic of depreciation, one of the topics in Module A of the Macmillan book. So let's quickly move on and understand the topic of depreciation. Okay, Adda 24/7 has its own app which you can find on the Play Store. There you can get all the details regarding the JAIIB as well as the CAIIB examinations. Along with that, you also get the latest updates regarding the examination as well. So if you're looking forward to any of the courses that we provide or any of the further information regarding the JAIIB examination as well as the CAIIB examination, you can download the app for further details. If you haven't reviewed our channel yet, and if you like the particular video that I'm just about to discuss a few things, so you can join our channel, you can subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to press on the bell icon so that whenever we are coming up with new videos on JAIIB as well as the CAIIB examination, you are able to see those videos, right? Okay, at this point of time, we have just started with our sale. That means for all the aspirants who are preparing for JIIB or the CIIB, for all the bankers, the mega weekend offer is on. That means for all these offers, you will get a discount of 80%. But this discount is available only on the weekend. You can use the code Y541 and you can avail the discount of 80%. Along with that, you will also receive double validity offer as well. But the double validity is available only on our Mahapacks. So before that, let me just give you a brief view. Use the code Y541. Use the code Y541 to avail the discount, and you can get a flat 80% off on all the JIIB and CIIB examinations. But this is an offer which is for a limited period. So don't forget to look out for our courses for the bankers. So check it out. And the registration for JIIB examination will end soon. So kindly make sure you are applying for the job before you are applying for the registration before time. Right? Okay. Now, let's talk about it. As I told you, at this point of time, the JIIB and CIIB Mahapacks double validity is going on, which is only for a very limited period of time. This is there on both the areas. That means the English medium as well as the bilingual batches. Our bilingual batches as well as the English medium batches have just started. That has just started on 12th of September, and a few have just the live classes are about to start for the English medium as well from tomorrow onwards. That means from 19th of September. So kindly be there, and if you haven't enrolled to our batches yet, then subscribe to our channel, go through our apps, then you'll find all the details regarding our courses, and you can use the code Y541. At this point of time, you'll get 80% discount. Plus, if you're looking for the Mahapack, you'll get a the Mahapack provides you a double validity at this point of time, which will give you 12 plus 12 months validity. Or if you're applying for 6 months, then you can get the 6 plus 6 months validity there. Along with this, when we talk about the classes, in the classes you get not only the live classes but also the recorded versions of the same. Along with that, you also get ebooks for your studies and the test series. So that means in one particular course that you take up, all the details regarding that examination which is required to clear the examination is being provided by us. So if you're looking forward to the JIIB examination this year, because again this year becomes very important, negative marking is about to start, the syllabi is just about to change, so there are so many challenges that are coming up from the next year. So it's now or never for this year only. So it's better that we give our best shot. The selection batches have just started, so if you haven't enrolled, this is the right time where you can join the live batches. Okay, so now the batches that have just started is on 12th September 2022, the batch for English medium as well as the bilingual. Both the batches have started. There we are covering PPB, AFB as well as LRB. So all these things are there. All you can do is go to our batches and use the code Y541. As soon as you will put it, you will get 80% discount. But remember, this is only for a limited period, right? So the batches have just started from 12th of September. The morning batch, English medium batch, is at 8 to 9 a.m. is going on currently. I think this would start, this is 8 to 9 p.m. The time would be 8 to 9 p.m. for AFB, and the PPB and LRB have also started. So you can look out for their timings on our app or the website for further details. Okay, the CAIIB Mahapack is also there, where you are getting the 6 plus 6 months validity. Okay, now let's move on. We were talking about the term depreciation. Now, when we talk about the term depreciation, what is exactly depreciation? Depreciation is the reduction in the value of the asset. But why does it happen? The basic reason is that, okay, let's say I buy a pen. As soon as I buy a pen, I start using it. The difference is I buy a pen, I consume it, and then I throw it away. That's a stationery for me. But what if I buy a digital pen? Now this digital pen, or the computers or the laptops that we are using, or the setup that we are using, this setup is an asset. An asset is what? Something that gives a productivity or increase in your revenue for future. This is not something that you will sell and make money. No, this will make those things which will help you to earn money. They'll produce those goods which would help you to sell. And once you sell those goods, you'll earn money. So depreciation is charged on the assets which are used for a longer period, right? So when we talk about the digital pen or the tablet, this is what I'll start using it the moment I opened the seal. What will happen? Will you buy that particular um, electronics from me? Will you? Simple reason would be, man, this is an old one. I don't know for how much time you would have used it. So basically, even if it's new, it won't be used. Why? Because you'll see that the box is opened. So for any electronics, you'll see as soon as you open it, the value started reducing. So what is it about the depreciation? So depreciation is the reduction in the value of the asset. If you purchased it for maybe 10,000, but within once you started using it, the value started declining. So there's an impact. So by the time I'll be selling it, nobody will buy it at the same price at which I bought it for. If I bought it for 10,000, you'll not pay 10,000. You'll say, ma'am, I'll give you 6 or 7,000. Why? Because in this case, I had a new thing. Now you're getting something which is old. So that's one of the basic differences. Along with that, there are multiple other reasons the value of the asset declines because of, right? So let's quickly move on and understand this topic in detail. Okay, what is exactly depreciation? When we look forward towards depreciation, depreciation as per the Pickles, he has defined that Pickles defined depreciation as the permanent and continuous diminution in the quality, quantity, and the value of the asset. Okay, it says that there's a permanent, one of the basic terms that we need to understand is it is permanent in nature. Number two, it is continuous. There's nothing like we can charge depreciation today and we can avoid it tomorrow. There's nothing like that. And it is diminution, that is, it is a decline in the value of the asset. Okay, and at the same time, you'll always find the few things which are stated that depreciation is mandatory. Because whatever product we use, whatever asset we use, if the asset is in use, the value declines, and if the value falls, then the book value or the cost of the asset shall also be recorded accordingly. It should not be recorded at the price at which it was purchased. For example, if I bought a mobile phone for the company, so basically there are a few sets of mobile phones which are being used. We bought it for maybe 50,000. As soon as the seal was opened, at least 5,000 rupees were clearly gone. Even if I now sell it to someone, even if it's unused, nobody will buy it for 50k. So basically, and if I used it for 1 year, there are scratches, the new versions are there in the market, plus the phone has definitely been upgraded by the people there. The mobile companies have given new technologies, so it has become older in terms of software, in terms of the model. So basically, now nobody will purchase it for 50,000 from me. People can buy it, but maybe for 10, 40,000, or maybe 30,000, depending upon the scenario. So remember, depreciation is only on the assets, and that too the fixed assets or the long term assets. Okay, now there I have a doubt. If I have a machinery, right? If I have a machinery and its value is declining, that can be stated as what? The machinery declining can be stated as depreciation. What if we are writing off the value of patents? Patents is also an asset, but it's just that it's an intangible asset. What will you use here? For patents, you'll use amortization, right? So one is amortization, the other one is depreciation. There's a difference. The value reduction is also there in terms of patents, but when we specify the terminologies, when a tangible asset declines, when a tangible asset declines, then due to its wear, tear, usage, obsolescence, whatever the reason would be, it would be termed as depreciation. But when an intangible asset faces it, it's because of amortization, the terminology. Okay, do you know which particular concept is related with this? You must have said about the various accounting concepts. Which particular concepts covers the area of depreciation? The concept is going concern. We assume that the organization is going to continue for a longer period, so the asset that is purchased will also be used for a longer period. So technically, when we know both the things are going to stay, the business as well as the asset, so we can charge depreciation over the life of the asset, right? So this is the concept which we relate to when it comes to the assets. Now, what next? Okay, let's talk about it. How do we define it? There's a plant and machinery. Organization is involved in manufacturing. It bought that plant and machinery. While they bought this plant and machinery, what happened? Once they bought it, time is going. That means we bought it in the year maybe 2019. Now it is 2022 going on. How many financial years have been there? It's been 2019 to 2020, then we have used it for 2020 to 2021, then 2021 to 2022 to the current date. What's the current time going on? We are heading towards now by the mid of September now, so we can say till the end of September. That means near about, if we take 30th September, say, it would be 6 months. That means this asset is being used for 3.5 years now. In these 3.5 years, why is there a need to reduce the value of that particular asset? If we bought it for maybe 1 crore, what has happened? This plant and machinery is being used for a good amount of time. There is wear and tear. One of the basic things that you will find is, in terms of plant and machinery, it's being used. We are producing something out of it. So basically what is happening is there is wear and tear. Secondly, there's a technological change. When we talk about the technological change clearly states that within 3.5 years, you'll see the production methods might have changed, or new upgraded methods of doing it would have been there in the market. So technically, what I got for 1 crore, maybe the value will not be the same if I think of selling it today. So it's better I note down that its value is declining, and the declining is known as depreciation. Now, from the entire conversation that we have till now, what do we get? What are the various causes of depreciation, right? The various causes of depreciation includes, number one, wear and tear. Since we use that particular thing for a good amount of time, it causes wear and tear. That particular things become worn out, there might be scratches, there might be damages, because we are using it for a business to grow. Then with a lapse of time, time plays a very important role. If, okay, one particular thing, the depreciation is charged normally when the goods are, the asset are put to use. As soon as you put it to use, you're using it every now and then. So with the passage of time, its value is also declining. plus obsolescence. Technology is also affecting it, and when there is another new technology which is coming up, not only the upgradation, but a totally new technology that is coming up is definitely going to affect the price of what we have today. Along with that, depletion. Okay, one of the assets is, say we have mines, there are quarries. So whatever you call it, there can be mines, there can be quarries, there can be oil wells. Once you take the asset out of it, what are we taking out of it? Natural resources. If you are taking natural resources out of it, that mine has become empty. Now that particular source of natural resources that we are trying to extract out of it, right, that source is now depleting. So there we call it depletion. So what do we get here? Depreciation is for the assets which are tangible. For intangibles, we use amortization, right? And when we talk about depletion, it is for the natural resources. Right? Okay. I think now it is visible in a better way. This is what the difference between depreciation, intangible. Uh, for intangible, we have amortization and depletion for natural resources. Okay. Now let's move on. There are various methods of depreciation. I'm just going to start with a few. The first one is known as the fixed installment method. One of the most popular name for this method is straight line method. We choose one amount of depreciation and we continue with that amount of depreciation till the end of the life of the asset. Becomes easier, very easy to do, because you decide that this is the amount of depreciation charged every single year. So you do not have to revise your depreciation rate every year, or you don't have to calculate it again. Just one calculation in the beginning when you're just about to put that asset to use and you're done with it. Okay. What is exactly the straight line method? It is basically an assumption that equal usage of the asset over its entire useful life would be there. When we talk about it, it's called straight line method for this particular reason only. When you plot it in the graph and you say first year, second year, third year, fourth year, the depreciation is going to be the same. So this is a straight line. That's why it's called straight line depreciation. But this is the theoretical depreciation definition. Na? What is the exact definition that we can learn from the practical point of view? Let's learn that one as well. Okay. The depreciation is charged in such a way. First of all, we take the cost of the asset. We deduct whatever amount we can recover from it. That means that is called the scrap value. If you sell it in the scrap, whatever you will get, or the salvage value. If that asset is used for years and then whatever value you get, that is called salvage value, divided by estimated useful life of that asset. Whatever that life would be, divided by that life. That is what we define as straight line depreciation. Now, let's understand it through a numerical. Okay. Here we have got, we purchased on 1st of April an asset worth rupees 1 lakh. Right? And the salvage value of that particular asset was, say, 10,000. The life of this asset is 9 years. Calculate the depreciation per annum. What would be the depreciation per annum? Now, let's understand that. If the cost is rupees 1 lakh minus 10,000, that is the scrap value, divided by the life of the asset, that is 9 years. It gives us 90,000 divided by 9. That means for every year we are going to charge 10,000 as depreciation. And now, if I decide to sell it in the third year at rupees, I'm selling it. Selling it in the third year, maybe let's decide the time. This is 2019 and we decide to sell it in September 2022. Let's take it 30th September, right? Now, this particular asset is used in 1920, then it is used in 2021, it's also used in 21-22, but in 22 to 23, it's used for only 6 months, right? This would be the scenario. Now let's look forward to it. In the first year, we'll charge the entire depreciation. In the second year, we'll again charge the entire depreciation because the asset is used for the entire year. 21-22 again used for the entire year. In 2022-23, it is not used for an entire year. It is used hardly for 6 months. That means, can we charge the depreciation of per annum here? Because we are selling it by the end of September. That means when we take it in the calculation mode, we take it as April, May, June, July, August, September. That means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. The depreciation should be charged only for 6 months. So if 10,000 is for an entire year, so then let's take it 6 by 12. It will turn out to be what amount? It would turn out to be 5,000. So if I am deciding to sell it for maybe 60,000, I've decided to sell it for 60,000, and the depreciation that has been charged till date is 10,000 for the first year, 10,000 for the second year, 10,000 for the third year, and 5,000 for the fourth year. Isn't it at this point of time the value of the asset would be 1 lakh? The original value minus, let's keep it every year as well. I can take it for every year. The closing balance, if the opening was 1 lakh, when we purchased it, we had 1 lakh rupees in our pocket, 10,000 was spent on depreciation, whatever was left with 90,000. Then we were left with 80,000. First year depreciation for the entire year 10,000. Second year depreciation 10,000. Third year depreciation 10,000. For the fourth year when we are selling it, the depreciation was 65,000 was left after depreciation, right? So now what's happening here? When we talk about this area, the value would come out to be what? Right? What would be the value here? When we talk about it, it will turn out to be 60,000. This would be 65. We are selling it for 60. We are facing a loss here of what amount? 60,000 was our sales price, and our at present the value that we are having is 65. So if it is 65 currently and we are selling it for 60, that means we are selling it at a loss of rupees 5,000, right? So this is the concept of straight line depreciation, an easy method. Why? Because in this method you don't have to calculate your depreciation time and again. You decide one particular one and that is being taken in a proper way. So just one particular time in the beginning of the usage of that particular asset, you decide what would be the amount of depreciation and that's it. You don't have to calculate it again and again. Once you decide it, it's done, right? Now, this particular method has a few benefits, easy to do, then a stabilized amount is there, but this is the problem with this method as well. why are we charging one particular amount of depreciation? Maybe the asset is being used more in the beginning and later on it would be lesser. And by the end of that life of the asset, there would be more of the repair and maintenance expenses. So why is there more depreciation by the end? Because ultimately it would have declined so much. So this method wasn't really realistic to many people. So what did they do? They looked forward towards another method, which is one of the most popular methods. Even Income Tax Act recommends that method. Along with this, even the SLM method is also used, but WDV, the second method, is recommended more. So let's understand the next method as well. That is called the written down value method. Under this method, there are other names as well. Just like we talked about the straight line method, there are other names of written down value method as well. That includes the diminishing value method. Why do we call it diminishing value method? Let's talk about that now. What is exactly written down value method? Under this method, the depreciation is charged on the book value of the asset. Since the book value on reducing by the annual charge of depreciation, it is also known as reducing balance method. As I told you, the other name is diminishing value method. Okay. Too theoretical, so let's move on and talk about it in terms of the practical method. Written down value method does not take the cost of that asset as a base. Its starting is the cost, but later on it changes totally. So let's talk about this method in a proper way. Okay, under written down value method, what happens here is, see, if I purchase an asset, I purchased an asset on again 1st April 2019. I purchased a plant and machinery for 1 lakh rupees. And they said, ma'am, the depreciation is going to be 10% per annum. They have stated it that whatever the depreciation would be, depreciation is 10% per annum. Then what's the difference between SLM and WTV then? The difference arises where in terms of WDV method, if you have an opening value, then you have a depreciation amount, and then you have a closing value. This is considering the fact in your examination you cannot prepare the accounts. Otherwise, in the accounting terms, we always prepare the accounts, right? So what do we do? On 2019 to 2020, purchased on 1st April, that means it is used for an entire year. If it was 1 lakh, for the first year, the depreciation was 10%. It was the closing value was 90,000. The difference between SLM and WTV lies here. 2020 to 2021. Now, the base for the next year depreciation will not be the same. It will change. Now, the closing value of the previous year becomes the base for the calculation of the current year. That means here we'll charge 9,000 as depreciation. 90,000 minus 9,000 gives us an amount of 81,000. See, now the depreciation for the first year was more, depreciation for the second year was less. That's why they call it diminishing value. And if you make the graph, you will find the depreciation is going to decline. But remember, under WDV, it will never be zero. Reason, if even the 1 rupee is left in this particular machinery while declining, the last 1 rupee is left, you will not decline, you will not reduce the entire 1 rupee. It would be 10% of the same. That means by the end of the day, you'll still have 90 paise. So technically, this particular method, the value of that asset is never zero. So now, when we talk about it, it's 2021 to 2022. If the value is 81,000 in the opening, the depreciation would be again charged on the closing value, which goes towards the opening. It would be 8,100. So then the value would be 72,900. This is the difference between WTV and SLM method. This is 10,000 goes 9,000, then 8,100. It would go on decreasing every year. So the depreciation and the closing value goes on decreasing every year, while in terms of SLM, we realize that the value decline is basically in such a way that depreciation remains the same every year until or unless we are selling it or we are disposing that asset. Okay, so I hope these two methods are clear to you. If you find this video helpful, kindly let me know. Then we'll cover up the other areas as well. But till then, there's one particular question for your homework. It says there's a plant and machinery that you purchased in 2019 for 1 lakh 40. The salvage value was 20,000. Life of this particular asset is 6 years. Sold this plant and machinery on 30th of June for 45,000. Find the loss and profit. In terms of, you can use this question and you can find the loss as well as the profit, whatever the case may be, by both the methods, SLM and WDV method. So this will help you to understand the concept in a better way. So for further details regarding this question, let's wait and we'll be meeting in the next video. So if you find this video helpful, kindly let me know. And if there's any doubt that you're looking forward to towards depreciation, you can write it in the comment section. And if you're preparing for JAIIB or CAIIB examination, you can review our courses. The last batch for the selection batch has just started. So this is the time where you can look forward to our batches in terms of the JAIIB preparation. The batches would be having limited seats, so you have limited period of time to avail it. So you can check out our website for the same so that you can avail the batches in time. And live batches means a better interactive way to learn towards the entire syllabus, right? So if you find this video helpful, then kindly let me know and press the thumbs up button. Thank you. So thank you so much for watching. This is where we end this particular session. But before I end the particular session, let me just give you a brief view of our website as well, so that okay, so let me tell you a little. When we talk about our website, all you need to do is you need to go to our website, and that is www.adda247.com, and there you will find all the details regarding this examination. Along with that, you will also find you'll also find the details of the courses that are going on as well. Along with that, if you're looking forward to it at this point of time, the discounts are going on, double validity is going on, perfect time to apply and to register yourself for our batches. So all the very best everyone. Thank you so much.